Hello there everyone, welcome back to another Train Sim Classic video. You join us in Germany once again. We are at Cologne station, or Koln station, and we're going to be heading down to Koblenz on the WEST RHEIN route, I believe it is. Which takes us down to Koblenz. Let's jump into the 425. This is the 425 Pi TSG, and we should be ready to go. So we got Koln South, Bonn Hauptbahnhof, Remagen, Brohl, Andernach, and Koblenz at 13:08. So it's around an hour's trip down to Koblenz, but should be a good bit of fun. Right, should be all good. Hang on, let's get that into forward. That would be a good thing to do. Well, we should get moving. There we go. We should have all of the safety systems on. Get the instrument lights on. Must admit, the lighting on this route is a bit weird. Like, it looks overly bright, and then the track is quite dark. Like, yeah, the lighting is bizarre. Anyway, Koln South Station is at kilometre board 3.1. We sort of come right the way up. We sort of swing right the way around. It's the system in Koln is really bizarre. Yeah, you sort of come out this way and then go right, basically loop all the way back round and then straight down. And then I think we also run alongside the light rail as well. It's a funny system Cologne has. Cologne, however you want to say it. Yeah, out we go. Should be up to 70. Well, you know what, we'll stay at 40 for now as we come across. This specific train, well, the route I believe is from Dovetail Games. It's quite an old one, hence the reason why it doesn't look fantastic. And then the train is by Train Sim Germany. I'm sure a lot of you will recognise for the TSW work. But they also did a few things for Train Sim Classic. Head out of Koln. 8 coaches on this run. And I've actually been on this line as well, although it was in on a diesel train. Not entirely sure what the diesel unit was, but yeah, it was on a diesel service. As when we went to Cologne, we stayed in an Airbnb, which was nearest, well, it was near Charlotten. No, not Charlotten. Where was it by? Chodvigsplatz, I think it was called, or Chodvigplatz, or Schlotwigplatz, which is sort of to the south of the city, and the nearest station to that was Koln South. So I did actually travel on this line, albeit on a diesel train, not on the 425. But you just make sure the audio is coming out okay for you guys. Yeah, that looks fine so far. So we like to hear and see. Yeah, you will notice a lot of German content in the coming days, as I only recently got back from my trip to Belgium, Germany and Italy. Italian trains, not as interested in as much. I think there actually was recently an Italian route which did release for Train Sim by Just Trains. Maybe we'll pick that up at some point, but mostly for me it's the German stuff which interests me. So yeah, expect lots of German content. And ignore the floating tracks, that's just because we loaded out and then back in. And TSC gets a bit funny with that. So this will be Koln West Station. Well, our next one's Koln South, which is around 1.5 kilometres. Oh my god, the acceleration's a bit too fast on this one. Slow down a bit, there we go. Speed limit's still 90 and we got to about, well, a bit much there. Is it going to load in the landscape? Hopefully it does. It should do. Sometimes it's a bit slow loading it all in again. Hopefully it does load in. It's taken a while. But like a whole bridge here just hasn't loaded in yet. There you go, slowly loaded, filling in the gaps. Waiting for an 80. we're about a kilometre or so away from our next, well, our first stop, which is at 3.1. So we're sort of just going right the way around Cologne at the moment. We're sort of right back on ourselves. You got a passenger view on this one. And this is Koln South Station, or Koln Süd. Lovely. So we're 8 coaches, we're down to the end of the platform. Yeah, Koln has sort of a strange mix of light rail and heavy rail. I mean, the line we're going down to, we go past Bonn, which is like a smaller city in Germany. But there's a light rail system. It's like a tram train. Yeah, it's light rail, which they have in Cologne and Bonn. Yeah, actually, why did the doors not open? Did the doors open? Oh, some do. Yeah, so I wonder if we can see that on the map actually. Joins up at some point, pretty certain. Yeah, the light rail. Sort of like a tram, train, and U-Bahn. Or U-Bahn, tram system, light rail system. Right, Bonn, Hauptbahnhof, next we've got quite a gap to the next, of about 20 minutes. So still 80 kilometers an hour. I've got the Ebula up for this route as well, so you can sort of see what's going on. Bonn is quite a way away. 31.9 it's at, so yeah, we've got quite a long way to the next stop. It really isn't a great looking route, is it, this one? You can tell it's an oldie one. But I thought it'd be quite cool to get this one. One, because I've been on it in real life, and two, we could then do technically a full run from Cologne to Frankfurt using the Train Sim World routes from Koblenz to Mainz and then Mainz to Frankfurt. So I might package this video together in some sort of Cologne to Frankfurt video at some point. Right, up to 100 miles an hour. Well, I think this train only gets us 140, doesn't it? Yeah, 140 max on this one. That's a shame. Yeah, I picked this route up on the sale. I think it was about a £5 on the sale, the May Madness sale, which may be over by the time this video goes out. And then the train itself was about a £5 as well. And there's no cruise control on this train either, which is annoying. So we have to do it all manually. Another one there. Give it a little toot. What was the Bonn at? Yeah, 31.9 Bonn Hauptbahnhof. So we're currently at 7. So we got about 24 kilometers. So I suppose if you do go above 140 on this, you're not speeding, because you're above the top operating speed of this train. So I mean, the track speed at the moment is 160. So we do go over 140 a little bit. It's not the end of the world. I'm not sure if the game will actually count that as speeding. On TSW it would, but I don't know about on here. of stations we are skipping out. Oh, hang on, you can move the microphone, look at that. Well, if you want to make a PA announcement, you can. Everybody hold on, it's going to be a rough ride. And I mention it in basically every video we do of German stuff. If you're not really into German stuff, I know it sounds a bit difficult, but try and get into it. The best way is to start learning the safety systems. Safety systems and signals. Once you know them, German routes become like the best routes. And you can pretty much do any of them HUD-less, easy. I mean, I've never driven this route, but we can do it HUD-less because I've got the Ebula document, which I'll leave a link for below. I've got it on here, so it just makes it easy. You cannot go wrong. So would you highly recommend, checking the audio again, highly recommend getting into German stuff. You will not look back. See, I know this one, well, it's 160 at the moment, isn't it? This 160 lasts for quite a long time. It lasts for ages. Yeah, the 160 appears to last until Bonn. Well, until after Bonn, actually. 160 lasts until there's a 100 at kilometre toward 44.3. So quite a simple route. Let's have a look at the map, actually. Yeah, it's just sort of straight down. And Bonn's what, over here somewhere? Yeah, Bonn. Oh, there's Bonn. Oh, that must be the light rail. Yeah, see all the little stops here. That's scary. Go to have a little look at the map, and the train goes over the 140 limit. And it wasn't happy with it either. The train did pick up on it, and it was like, "What are you doing?" Station coming up. What's this one? Let's have a look. Where are we at? We're at kilometre board 14.6. This stop is Brow. That's what this stuff is. Let's get a little flyby shot off the train. Or a double flyby shot. An ancient looking. Look how ancient the Doppelstock looks. Probably like the original I don't know, probably the Kuju Doppelstock if they did one then. Like probably old school in the game. Like sounds are basic, the model was basic. But let me see when this route did come out. 2015? So it's not like, let's have a look. Yeah, it'll stay at 160 for ages, so I'm not really worried about looking out too much. It's a TS Classic, yeah, West Rhine this one is. Oh, 2014 this one came out. Yeah, 5th of December 2014. So 12 years old this route, almost. And you can sort of see it is old. Compared to say Frankfurt S-Bahn, which we did recently, and that route looks pretty good. About 12 kilometres now to Bonn. It'll be a bit weird though on like a joint journey from Cologne to Frankfurt, as you go from modern day to, well, not modern day, probably 2012 or so, to 1990s, and then to like 2018. Unless you do it all within Train Simulator, then it can sort of all be modern day. There's always a Koblenz to Frankfurt route, which is, I think that came out in like 2020 or so. Which has like the Flirt, the DBBR 42, no, the DBBR 429's on there. Which covers the full Koblenz to Frankfurt. But then that's all on TSC. So not as exciting. As we sort of cruise along at 80 miles an hour or so. A very straight route. It's only 2.8, so we've got about 9 kilometres now to the Bonn station. I think it would time to take us 20 minutes. I don't think it's taking 20 minutes. But we're going to get there early. Or was there not 20? I swear it gave us 20 minutes between the 2 stops. But the full journey to Koblenz is about 65 minutes. So I'd imagine we get another sort of big gap after Bonn. Six kilometres now from Bonn. Yeah, so I think fairly soon we should see the light rail system sort of come alongside us. Which, yeah, it's just a weird mix, because yeah, it's, through sort of Cologne it's a U-Bahn, sort of almost like the London Underground. Then it becomes sort of a tram system running on the roads. And then it then becomes, well, almost just a train from Cologne down to Bonn. At 3 kilometres now to Bonn. Which I believe Bonn actually was the capital city of West Germany. Do correct me if I'm wrong there, but yeah, I think Bonn was the capital of West Germany. Well, that's not actually that. It's not even that big, Bonn. As opposed to say other cities, it's not that big. We've got green over yellow here, that's a bit nasty to see. Warning for a 60, so we're going to get the 1000 Hertz magnet. You've got a black 101 and a grey 101. think that's the light rail system they're joining up. I don't know if we will see any AI trains on there. That is an awfully long train there. What is going on there? What the heck? Was that meant to be like that? Interesting. Laid up in the sidings there. So we've got the green over yellow, 60 kilometers an hour. Then we've got the green at the next signal. So we'll be coming across some points here. Acknowledge. Another mix of 101s, look at that. Grey, reds, black, grey and red. I love the mix of 101s here in Bonn. Oh, first stop after a while. Will we be on time? I guess we'll go down to the end of the platform here, assuming it ends by the at the signal. Seems like sort of the entry exits down this side, so makes sense to do so. In fact, that should be alright here. Bring it to a stop. Not sure why this front coach doesn't want to open. Well, this is Bonn. We are on time. After this is Remagen, which is another gap to that one, about 20 kilometres away. That one. That's at kilometre board 52.8. So another gap to that one. Lots of sort of big gaps between the stations on the express. That's weird, it gives you the option to use like the brake here, but obviously you can't because this train doesn't have a sort of standalone brake. So if you've made it this far in the video, thanks all for remaining in as we explore the Cologne to Koblenz route on Train Sim Classic. Sort of fills another gap of track which we've not driven before. Now you'll sort of know what's above Koblenz and obviously what's below Cologne. Fills that gap out. Right, off to Remagen. Let's go. So the train next to us also has the signal as well. So yeah, Remagen is at 52.8. So just ages away. Speed's going up to 100 miles an hour again. Let's go full throttle. Open it up. It's up to a steady 140 again. Not 160, sadly. So incapable of that speed. Dovetail. I know that's meant to be like a Mercedes-Benz building there. And instead it's a DTG building. I think that's probably meant to be Mercedes-Benz. There's a lot more trying to move it. Eh? What's that all about? Cool. So what was it? What was Remagen at? 52.8, and we're currently at 34.8. And the speed actually does fluctuate a little bit on this section. It seems to come down to here 100 at 43.6, so we've still got a bit of time. Or around that. 44.3, it's down to 100. So it does slow down a bit before the next stop. You can change the destination on this train, not the usual buttons. Oh, you can with that though. Zero and shift 0. Just because German trains are different to other trains, which is F7 and F8. But I mean, yeah, I doubt you'll see much of this route. I mean, yeah, maybe I might do a long run at some point, like yeah, Frankfurt to Cologne or Cologne to Frankfurt. Well, we'll obviously do this route. But it's just nice, yeah, get these routes whilst on the hill, sort of a fiver, and just sort of show them off. Yeah, feel sort of a gap in our knowledge of what's below Cologne and beyond Koblenz, which is always nice to do. Now we know. So about 5 kilometres we got to slow down to 100. Safer. So is anyone's local route? Does anyone reside in Bonn or Remagen? That's probably not how you say it, but is anyone from this area? So we were due into Koblenz, I think it was about 13:08, so we got around 35 minutes now to Koblenz. So about almost halfway through, which has gone quick. Thing is, if they ever brought this route to Train Sim World, what era would you want to see it in? I mean, considering that Mans to Koblenz is set in 1997, would you want to see this route in TSW backdated to match with that, or be modern day? Again, I like to mention TSW a lot, as I know a lot of you watching are, from the TSW videos, or come across from the TSW videos. Bit of a slower section through here. There's the 100. It's a little shot off the train. That's what veering around the corner here. Yeah, it was slightly late to the party though, considering this street came out back in 2014. Well, I think the train... When did the train come out? Oh, the train's a lot newer. I'm having a look whilst we're driving. 45. The train came out in 2019. Which is weird because I still consider 2019 to be like recent. Like, you know, that's like new. But it's not really, is it? Like sort of 2020 to 2026 just blasted past. It's like, what year are we in? Did accidentally speed there a little bit. This 100 lasts until 49.9. So, yeah, sort of 3 and a bit kilometres of just at 100, which is 60 miles an hour. That's why when they do the car tests, it's always 0 to 60 in how many seconds. Because that's, yeah, the equivalent of 100 kilometres an hour. I do find it weird that in the US and in the UK, we still use miles. Like, kilometres sound a lot easier. There's a mile is like 1,600 meters, or it's like 1,626 meters, like a random number. And a kilometre is 1,000 meters, easy. Yeah, in the UK, US, we still stick to miles. Despite kilometres just being a lot easier to learn and a lot easier to use. I can quite sort of big up UK stuff, but then yeah, miles as opposed to kilometres is just a lot easier. Right, so we can go up to 120 shortly. Oh, there's the Rhine River. You can finally see it. Cool. And there's the 120. So you gotta wait for the back of the train to pass the board. And Remagen is at 52.8, so we're not actually too far off that now. Got green over yellow as well. So I have to slow down anyway. The little town coming up just ahead of us. But yeah, so playing a route like this does make you appreciate TSW. As I mean, this is near Linker Rheinstrecke. So just think of the graphics on here, and then think of Linker Rheinstrecke. It does make you appreciate TSW. I mean, some routes on Train Sim Classic look really good. I mean, Frankfurt S-Bahn, which we played recently, that one looks pretty good. And there's quite a few UK routes where they look, you know, top notch. But I mean, never quite as good as TSW graphics wise. Oh, we got 60 on that. That's alright then. Don't even get a magnet for that either. Well, coming up to Remagen. Yeah, I don't know if that's how you say it or not, but another shot of the train. Here we are. Hopefully my webcam hasn't all of a sudden got drastically darker. It's the middle of May right now in the UK. So you sort of think, it'd be, you know, 18, 19 degrees, nice and sunny. Nope, since I got back from holiday, it's just been grey and miserable. So right now there's a massive dark cloud overhead blocking out the sun. And it looks like it's about to actually belt it down. That should be alright here. Hey, the front door's actually open this time. And we're bang on time as well, like, literally bang on time. Next up is Bro, which is slightly nearer. Where's that? Is it gonna tell us? No. So we're about half hour from Koblenz. So far, quite a nice journey. And I think it should only really get nicer as we get nearer to Koblenz, as we aren't actually now following the river. And I've also picked up Koblenz to Trier. That's, again, probably not how you say it. But that's the route which goes off from Koblenz and goes sort of down. I think it goes off here actually. It goes off sort of down this way. So I've got that route now as well, which seems to have decent reviews. So sort of exploring different routes. Right, 12 kilometres to the next stop. Which is at kilometre board 65.7. We still have the green over yellow as well. She's 40. Are we coming across here? Must be coming across. And once we get off of here, it should be. Let's have a little look-see at the Ebula. Remagen. Where's it gone? Should up to 120 or so. It's not up to 160 fairly soon. There's the 160 there. Full power, let's go. So yeah, next stop was at 65.7. And we're at 54. So about 7-8 miles. That equates to. Why don't we get a 12 car? Oh, 12 car, we got only an 8. Safer. Just trying to sort of stay under 140, because I mean, technically, if we do go over 140, technically we're not speeding. I mean, line speed is 160, but we are breaking the train's operational speed. Well, there's not much harm in doing so, is there? Now I'm thinking, what route do I do next? Do I do Koblenz to Trier? Was it Koblenz to Trier? Or do I go Koblenz down to Marnes? Actually, at the moment, I'm just focused TSW and TS German, and also OMSI as well, because I also went on a few buses in Wuppertal, which is on OMSI too. So I wouldn't mind going on that as well. Gives me a bit of an urge to play it. See if 5 kilometers to the next stop now. It's a bit of a smaller gap. Was it 48 passengers you're in there? So we'll be 2.7 kilometers now. So we're going to get a nice view of the river coming up. So it's obviously that it just opens up just ahead of us there. Is the river right there? Must be. Yeah, there's the river. The mighty Rhine. Another shot of the train next to that. Right, let's start slowing down for the next stop. I'll start getting ready to slow down. Should be about 1,000 meters now. And there it is there. So it just works perfectly, this Ebula, which yeah, would be on this screen here. You can actually get it into the game, there is a mod for it. But I think it's quite a faff. It's just easier to have it on my laptop next to me. Which sort of acts like one of these screens. We are. This is Bro, and again we are bang on time. And it is on the neck, which only seems to be 5 minutes away. That's at kilometre board, 73.3. And the speed does fluctuate quite a bit as well. And we are now, let's have a look on the map, where are we? Here now. So we come down from Cologne, which is all the way up here now. So I'm quite away. We've still got to go down to here though. Well, way closer to, what was it, 18 minutes or so, and we should be there. Train to Koblenz, Regional Express. Again, look how old that Doppelstock looks. Right. Go. Does it not like us doing it that way round? Because I'm dragging it with the cursor. It doesn't like us doing that, wow. Hang on, what's going on? There we go. Now we're off. So yeah, next stop 73.3. Off we go. So we did have the warning for the 140. We're going about 120 at the moment. There's the 140. I think it should come down even further. There's the river. In fact, you could do a really long journey on here. I'm just thinking of like different journeys you could do. Because you could do like Düsseldorf to Cologne, or Aachen to Cologne. And then Cologne down to Frankfurt. And then from Frankfurt you could go two ways. You could go down to Strasbourg, on Frankfurt high speed, the Rhine railway down to Karlsruhe, and then Strasbourg Karlsruhe. And then you also could then go to Fulda down to Würzburg. Is there any route from Würzburg to Nuremberg? Probably like a third party route. Because I know there's quite a lot of routes which go from Nuremberg to like Munich and Ingolstadt, that sort of area. Well, Nuremberg to Ingolstadt is actually coming to Train Sim World. So you probably could then end up doing, yeah, if there's that link between Würzburg and Nuremberg, which there probably is on Train Simulator. Not sure if it's on the Steam page though. You could then do a full sort of Düsseldorf or Aachen down to probably to Vienna, because from Munich you can get to Rosenheim, Salzburg, and then there's quite a lot of RSS LO routes, which are sort of the basic routes, basically, yeah. Which then they have routes all the way to Vienna. So you can do quite a long, stretched out journey. But yeah, it's just if there is a route from Würzburg to Nuremberg. As I know from Nuremberg you can get down to Munich, because I've been looking at routes to do that. Unless you can go another way round. Don't know. So 12.4, so a couple of kilometres from Ardenack. See the town coming up, or village. Must be quite a principal place if we're stopping there, considering we are the express. .30 limit. It should be coming up to the station in about a kilometre. So just coast it. Cool. So we get an external arrival shot. Let's do it and hope for the best. Spam Q, go see if it goes off. Probably actually just keep the brakes on and come to a stop. Seems to already be in the platform. Here we are, this is Ardenack. And again, bang on time. Due out of here at 56, and it's Koblenz next in about 12 minutes. I mean, first, the top half of this route from Koln south to Bonn, that bit was a bit dead. But below Bonn, it's been quite interesting sort of as we go into the valley and follow the river along. But then the same goes for Linke Rheinstrecke when you go from, what's the blimmin' place called, Mans to one of the first stops on there, one of the first big stops where the expresses stop at. Sort of between there and there, the first sort of 15-20 minutes are pretty dead. Right, let's go. Speed is 130 at the moment. We'll go down to 120 quite soon. And Koblenz, well, we should get brought down for Koblenz, but that's at board 91.2. So at about 18 kilometres. Which is about probably 12 miles or so. I think it was a wise decision I took to get the 425, as otherwise we probably would have been driving one of those really old default German trains, a bit like the equivalent of driving like the class 421, or even the original basic class 377 in Train Sim Classic, where they're just not good anymore. Because this train actually counts as a TS Pro train. just because you can do a little bit more than the usual train sim train, like PZB, CIFA, that can all be turned on manually, and there's a bit more functionality, which makes it TS Pro. Despite it being one of the easiest German trains to drive, because it's a 425 with just the one power brake controller. Back up to 140 for us. That service appears to be waiting for us. Let's get another flyby shot. More flybys the merrier. Power station on the left of us. So how long does it stay at this speed for? Because coming into Koblenz it changes quite a lot. It appears, oh, it stays at this for quite a while, it appears. Pretty much until we get to kilometre board 86, no, 88, when it comes down to 90. So we've got sort of a nice gap of speed. The Deutsche Bahn must have loads of spare trains, all just hanging around in the depot. Unless this is based on a Sunday. Random depots, just like a Dosto there. That's another thing you start to miss when you play Train Sim Classic, is having a timetable mode. Because yeah, I mean, a lot of routes in Frankfurt U-Bahn, Frankfurt S-Bahn on Train Sim Classic do have timetable based scenarios. Then you can't just sort of go in and be like, oh, you know what, I want to drive at about 3 PM on a May afternoon. You can't do that on Train Sim Classic. It has to be sort of a pre-made scenario. And there's not really many scenarios being made now for Train Sim Classic. Or not as many as there were a few years ago. And especially if you find the German stuff, that's a bit difficult. Yeah, a bit more limited gameplay wise, whereas on Train Sim World it's limitless with the timetable, at least for each individual route. Line joining us here, not sure what line that is, but that joins us up here. Let's have a little look at the map, see if we can see what line that is. The WEST RHEIN. Oh, that would be about the Bright Bridge. should be coming up to the 9th. Oh, here's the warning board for it. So we should get a magnet on that, which we haven't, so okay. Oh no, because that would be if it was below, that would be if it was 80 or below. Because obviously that would then be the 1000 hertz sort of magnet at 85 threshold, I guess. So coming up to one of the first Koblenz stations. This is Koblenz Lützel coming up. And we got Koblenz Stadtmitte, and then Koblenz Hauptbahnhof at 91.2. Got some semaphores as well around here. Green over yellow though. That makes things serious. I said the main signal was quite close as well. Is. So we're not actually stopping here, we're just going really slow because we got the green over yellow there. We have to go slow. Acknowledge it a couple of times. Are we coming across here then? Potentially. Yeah. Again, the joy of German routes, that is just the way the signals tell you everything you need to know. So in the UK, you'd have to know the point speed there. You couldn't just be like, oh, the signal will tell me. What's that confluence? Is it? No, it's a different river, this one, I think. They must have a confluence over there where the two rivers join. I don't think that's the Rhine, which was just there. I mean, you could speed up on this bit here, but there's not really much point. The next one's a green over yellow as well. Right, so we got there's a freight train, apparently running a regional express to Cologne. A 146 pulling a freight train with a regional express to Cologne. I'm not entirely sure about that. Double yellow on this one. That's a bit pointless coming across there. We could have just stayed on the same line, unless we're coming in on one of these platforms. But we could have just sort of come along here, then into there. If we come back across here, it'll be like, what was that for? Well, that was slightly weird pathing. Just coming back across onto the line we were on before. Why are there so many trains in the yard? There's like every station has been littered with trains, like an unrealistic looking amount of trains. Like, I doubt you'd have this many just spare knocking around. But this is Koblenz Hauptbahnhof, where our journey ends. Got the castle up there. Get the 500 Hertz magnet shortly. Modern day Koblenz. First time I've actually seen a modern day Koblenz station. So we'll go up to that marker there. Well, there we go, everyone. That is Cologne to Koblenz, or Koln Koblenz, here on Train Sim Classic. Sort of fills another gap in our route knowledge of sort of where, where's above Koblenz go. Well, it goes to Cologne via Bonn. Links to usual places: Discord, PayPal, merch store, as well as our affiliate link for UK departure boards. See you all and take care. Bye, guys.